Hi guys, we're back for another AnimeInkArt live talks. I hope you guys are doing well. Just getting people in here so we can start. But I hope you guys had a great few days. You had a great week. You had a great weekend. So now we're here to Sunday. Tomorrow's almost Monday. I know it's not always the best, but it is what it is. But for those that may not know what this show is about, this is AnimeInkArt live talks where we talk with different creators in the community about their journey in content creation, how to support each other better in the community. So today we have very special guests. You know Trade Digger Bob Dash 2, or many people know him as Trade Digger the Super Saiyan. And obviously, they're an amazing content creator. They're a nerdcore rapper. You may know them from Heroes for Hire, the Heroes League. You've also seen them interact with Origins of Play, and definitely an amazing artist, an amazing creator. They do a lot. They've been to a lot of cons. You've seen them perform their amazing tracks with their team as well. So definitely let's give them a warm welcome and yeah, let's get started.
Hey, hey, hey. Happy Sunday, everybody.
How are you? How are you?
I've had a crazy week, but a great weekend, a lot of productive things. I'm excited to be here with everybody.
Definitely, and thank you for agreeing to come on. I really do appreciate
Yeah, it's going to be a vibe. We're going to create good energy. We're going to start everybody's Monday off great after watching this. Give me your energy. Return.
That's true. So, for people that don't know who you are, introduce yourself and what you do.
Oh, I'm going to give him the spill. Hold up. It's your boy Trey Digger, all heme, no hate, real ain't no Shar Ghost Gang, Jang, Jang. I represent the Heroes League. I'm one half of those Heroes for Hire. I represent the almighty Ghost Gang and Corfu and Bam. I am hip hop's Goku. You can find me in the city near you, bringing the heme and living the dream.
Definitely, and just from everything I've seen, you've been going for the past few years. You've been doing it, but particularly like last year, going into this year. So, first thing to start off with, what got you into music?
Oh man, that's a good question. So technically, I'm a legacy. So my father, he was a DJ. You can Google him. His name is Sonny Hobson, SonnyHopson. He was a disc jockey in the '60s, '70s, and '80s,
Hmm.
and you know what I'm saying. He brought me into like the music atmosphere, and I got to see him work with different people. He worked with the Temptations, Georgie Woods. He worked with Teddy Pendergrass. He worked with
Yeah.
Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, so on and so forth. And then like in between, like doing regular on air stuff, he was a club owner and he had a record store and he had different clubs in the city. And just seeing him interact with music gave me a love of it. Then on the flip side, I have like, his family, they had like a choir in church. So they used to be singers in a choir, the Hobson family choir. And then on my mom's side, we have a lot of musicians. You know what I'm saying? The Smiths, they do different instrumentation. One of my cousins was on tour with the Barcade, and they were on tour with Rick James. And
Hmm.
then also my mother, she was a party promoter and like a dancer and a rapper and a graffiti artist. Her graffiti name was Popcorn. Graffiti started in Philly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cornbread. And then uh my mom also, used to break dance and stuff like that. And then she was spitting the bars, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy because like the way my parents met was through music too. They met at
Mm,
an Eddie Murphy James Brown party in Washington,
wow.
D.C. So like music has always been part of my life. So like I wanted to be a singer. And then puberty struck that down. So I was like, I'll never be able to do this music thing. And then I was like, yo, I'm pretty nice with the bars. So I'll try my hand at that. So that's what I did. I ended up trying my hands with the bars and I did the rapidy rap thing. And I was pretty good at it. And I ran myself through all of the circuits when it comes to music, right? So coming up in the era in the city that I'm from,
Hmm.
a lot of it is a hardcore element, right? So I came up around the Beanie Siegel state prop era, which bled into the rap DVD Meek Mills era. So like
Yeah.
a lot of the raps that time were like very different. Like I started out on the Will Smith raps, parents just don't understand. And then it was like, I gotta have it. Shout to my B-boy Beans and my SP Chain Gang doing a thing. And it was a, y'all thought I was finished? Hold on, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Then, now we're in the little Uzi rap. It's like, I just want rap. So like Philly, people don't realize how much of Philly is just music.
Hmm.
Everybody raps in Philly. Everybody aunt sings in Philly. Everybody's in a band in Philly. So it's like being part of that musical element is just like something that I could not avoid, but also it was like generational wealth. So yeah. But the bigger part of it leading from like, just doing like freestyles to doing like rap DVDs to like doing ciphers and leading into like both front of the house things and back
Hmm.
of the house things. I don't know if you know kitchen terms, but like front of
Yeah.
the house would be like serving things, taking orders, this, that, and the third. That's
Hmm.
like the performing aspect, right? So
Yeah.
I'm performing, I'm hosting, whatever, whatever. And then
Hmm.
back of the house would be me doing the booking, the engineering,
Yeah.
the production. So I've dabbled in both sides. So but coming into like where I am now with nerdcore, it's been
Hmm.
a very fulfilling and enriching process, and just overall getting into music and getting to this point, it feels like a rebirth over and over again. Every time you do a different aspect of music, first time when I started freestyling, I was like, oh yeah, that's one thing. Then when I started like recording records, that was like a new birth. And then when
Yeah.
I started releasing records and performing records and doing
Hmm.
different types of music, so it's like I would say, that's like the whole story of me being into music, because I got into music one way as a fan, then legacy, then a performer, and then, an architect. So it's like I've been getting into music for over a decade or more now, probably since birth, really. Just keep getting into music. So rebirthing myself. Almost like reanimation jutsu.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one. But I think it's cool that like how you say it's like a generational thing. But I love because I know for some people when they get into like when they're in a like legacy family, sometimes they don't want to do it because they feel pressured. But I love that like it just naturally you just were interested in it, and then the rest is history. So I wanted to ask, being that like you have so many people, different people in the industry, but just for you because I know like a lot of people like they started with learning the process. And for you, you've done different things. I've seen like the engineering part and like the hosting part and the get you like you do everything. Um, what was the response like, from peers and people that when you switched to nerdcore? And it's a two-parter. So how was it for you growing up as, a blurred, loving the things you love? And fast forward, how was it for you when you finally decided like, hey, I'm I'm in this nerdcore, like I'm doing this nerdcore like full time?
All right, so like that's like a threefold question, right?
Yeah.
So I'll go into the coming into the music thing because my parents both did music. There was either high expectations or no expectations, right? Because
Mm,
my dad's a DJ, but he also like is a show host and he was an engineer and a producer. So they just expected I was great. I was
mm,
like, don't want to do that. Don't want to but then I was like, oh, this is really fun. I like it. And then my mom is always the life of the party, so everybody expected me to be the life of the party. And I was like, I don't know if I like people enough to be the life of the party. So then when I finally decided that I enjoy music enough to do it, it was like some people were like, yeah, this is it. We've been waiting for this. And other people were like, really? Yeah, you're not a music guy. So then that was one hurdle I had to get over. Either the hurdle of being in the shadow of my parents, but also like the hurdle of like people not believing in me doing music. And then like stepping into that musical space. Well, the third the coming into nerdcore versus so like me being in a music family, that reaction, then breaking it to like my friends. Like, so trying to go into a music space and thinking, oh, my friends love me. They're going to be fans. They were not. No one believed in the
mm,
dream. I'd be like, yo, I'm going to do music. And it was like, yeah, that's what's up. Anyway, so about this party, or I'd be like, yo, I got a show coming up. Like, that's cool. We going to the bar. And I was like, yeah, I can't hang out. I gotta go to the studio. And they was like, stop playing, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I dedicated so much time to like doing the art. It's like it tethered a lot of my friendships. And it was kind of
mm,
like I had to understand that you being my friend because we were homies on the block, or you being my friend because we went to school together, didn't necessarily transition that you was going to be my homie moving forward with something else that I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that became like a whole different situation. And I had to just come up with the fact that, you know what I'm saying, either I did or I didn't get the love and response I wanted.
Mhm.
So then going from that, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
I had to I had to come to terms with the fact that once I got into music and I started getting the respect of people, respect
Mhm.
from the ciphers, respect like in the studio, respect in like performances. I
Mhm.
had to understand what a shock it was going to be when I stopped rapping about like drugs and
Yeah.
guns and
Mhm.
those things, and started rapping about cartoons and video games and movies. And it was kind of like, oh, wow. So, like, my fan base kind of was shook by it. And so were some of my peers because they didn't understand why I would shift. But, like, one of the major problems I had with doing the old type of music was, first of all, I wasn't living that life anymore.
Mhm.
Second, I had kids. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm a father of four, and my kids were very much invested in my music career and very much were hype. Like, yo, this is dope, da 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 da. And when my kids started reciting my bars, and I was like, oh, this might not be the greatest thing for my life.
Yeah.
Especially when they would go to other people's houses and they're like, oh, this is my dad. He's really dope. Check him out. And then I might say something questionable. And then it's like, okay, we're turning this off. But transitioning into nerdcore was such a safer space because it's like, of course, I had my Mega Man punchlines, my Transformer punchlines, my Goku punchlines, you know what I'm saying? My Batman punchlines. But it's like where somebody would catch it or somebody wouldn't. In nerdcore,
Mhm.
people wind it back and run it back and be like, oh, wow. He said, oh, da da da, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
easy, one of those easy punchlines, right? DMX said, I transform like I'm Optimus Prime. And I was like, are we allowed to do that? You know what I'm saying? I was so hype. I threw like my drink I had at the time. I was like, yo, we can do this. But then it was like, no, not really. There's like plenty
Mhm.
of times where people snuck it in. Like Ludacris has that whole song about video games. And then there's like other people who like kind of snuck it in. Like a perfect line. Like, Buster Rhymes said, roar, roar like a dungeon dragon. And it was like, how many people actually knew what Dungeon Dragon was when he said that? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe if they watched a cartoon on, Saturday mornings, like how many people was rolling for a net 20? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's in hip hop. It's just like, they didn't want to love it. So it's like that's the 3 point. It's like I had to get over the generational judgment and the family thing. Then I had to get over like the friendship thing. Then once I got the respect and the peers, I had to like, oh guys, hey, I'm leaving. And then once I get to nerdcore, now it's like starting all over. So I gotta like earn all these new stripes. But it's like such a safer space. So it's
Yeah.
it's definitely been a series of transitional jumps. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's like definitely the reaction is always it's always surprising to see what the reaction is because I don't know if I'm gonna get the oh, or I'm gonna get the word, or I'm gonna get the
The confusion.
yeah. So those are the three I'm used to getting. It's like, oh, I want to be a rapper. I'm gonna be a hardcore rapper. I'm gonna be a nerdcore rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah. I definitely get that.
it's like,
And
when I pop out in cosplay, if it's the wrong time of the year, they be like, "That's what's up. You going to a costume party?" Yeah. I be like, "It's just Tuesday.
it's
It's just
just
my
too.
Tuesday. It's just Tuesday."
Yeah, I get that. It can definitely be interesting, but like I feel like I feel like you do it a lot of grace and a lot of like confidence. So I love that.
It's been an uphill battle. You know what I'm saying? I don't come from like the nicest hood. It's not the worst hood, but it's
Mm,
definitely it was a time when it's like Dragon Ball Z was cool, but anything else was like weird. Like maybe even Pokemon. Pokemon was passable, but like you really start getting in depth. Like we talking about some like let's be real, right? We all had anime that we didn't know was anime, and then once people start figuring out what anime it was, it's just like it becomes a different conversation. So like
mm,
I watched Dragon Ball Z in Spanish on channel 48. I didn't know that was Dragon Ball. And then when it came out again, I
yeah.
didn't know there was more than the Frieza saga. I watched the Frieza saga 7, 8 times. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching Sailor Moon, the Frieza saga, and Ronin Warriors before I go to school. Then I come home from school, I'm watching Pokemon wasn't even on WB 17. It was on channel 57, and they only showed
Mm,
the first 12 episodes over and over again. I ain't know nothing about leasing agreements or nothing like that. So then when like anime really started becoming a thing, the animes I liked, I couldn't even really watch them. I used to go to Chinatown, pay $45 for 3 episodes on a VHS that came with the commercials and wasn't dubbed or subbed. You know what I'm saying? It was
mm,
just like pictures and commercials. And I was just like, we making up our own storyline. Like, all right, so this dude took Goku's rice. That's why he's fighting him. And Chi
mm.
Chi wasn't there because she was like, taking care of the kid. And Vegeta's mad because his hairline's missing. That's the reason why he's got a mustache now. We were just making up our own story for GT. You know what I'm saying? We had no idea what was going on. But it's just like then it's like also like, can you imagine the first time you told your family, like your parents, like, I like this? Like,
Yeah.
what was your parents' first reaction when you like the anime?
I mean, I think like because I didn't know Pokemon was an anime, so they know I was obsessed with that, and they're just like, oh, our child and her like cartoons. I think that's what it was. My dad likes like he's technically a blurred, even though he doesn't really know the term. He likes like DC, Marvel, and all that stuff. So he kind of just like,
Nice,
oh,
nice.
he's like, oh, okay, like I respect it. They may not understand it, like like the anime and stuff like that. For a long time, my dad was like, hey, do you watch it in like just Japanese? I'm like, no, it's subtitles. It took him like I don't know, like the age of 28 or 27 for him to realize like, oh yeah, it's like when you watch your kung fu movies, like it's English, it's like an English sub, but it's like it's just a different language. My mom is just like she's a supporter like in general. She went to BlurCon to when I thought originally I had to vend last year, and like even though she didn't understand it, at least she was just there to support me. And even though she had her moments, like she would ask, they at least ask questions. That's the thing. Like even if they don't understand, they ask questions. So I was lucky in that regard. They didn't like shun me or anything like that.
Yeah, because I got the super old parents. Like my dad was a civil rights activist, and my
Yeah.
mom was like she grew up in like cocaine Philadelphia. So it's
Mm,
like for me that like they pushed the sports on me. You know what I'm saying? I had to play basketball, football, hockey, soccer, tennis. I ran track. They pushed everything on me. I did boxing. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, yo, I'm not really trying to do any of this. Like I want to be a ninja. You know what I'm saying? I did BMX, I did like skateboarding, I did rollerblading. I was just doing anything, you know what I'm saying? And then now like transitioning into like being in nerdcore, being an open nerd and just being a blur. My mom was like, yo, this is really dope. You know what I'm saying? You got your kids on it and all that. It's like, how do we get here though? And I was like, what you mean? She was like, I understand like Ninja Turtles. I'm like,
yeah.
we're ninjas, that's Japanese. And she was like, you know what I'm saying? And I understand like, the kung fu movies. I'm like, also, you know what I'm saying? There was villains that did karate. That's also Japanese. And he was like, yeah. And then like you watch like the Transformers, Japanese animation, Japanese toys. I'm like trying to explain to her, right? And she's
Yeah.
just not getting it. She's like, I get like regular cartoons, but I don't understand how you got here. And I'm
Mm,
like, well, every morning I used to wake up and watch Power Rangers, was like Super Sentai. It's like, live action anime. And she's like, yeah, I guess. And I'm like, well, mom, you kind of grew up like a fusion person. And she's like, I don't understand what you mean by that. I'm like, well, you had two posters in your room growing up. Who was they? She
yeah.
was like, Michael Jackson and Bruce Lee. And I'm like, word.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You was doing martial arts at a young age. She was like, yeah, but that's like Chinese. That's not like Japanese. And I was like, well, what was like some of your favorite cartoons growing up? And this is when I got her, right?
Mm.
Like, what you watched growing up? She was like, yo, I watched a lot of things. Bugs Bunny, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, but what you put me on when I was a young boy? She was like, I mean, I bought you this, that, and the third. I was like, what's one of the first VHSs you bought me on Christmas? She was like, oh, I bought you The Grinch. I bought you Speed Racer. I bought you da 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 da. I said, say that again. She's like, I bought you The Grinch. I was like, uh-huh. She's like, I bought you such and such. I was like, no, go back one. She was like, I bought you Speed Racer. I said, hold that thought. Pulled up my phone. I said, da 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 da. Here comes Speed Racer. And I was like, now look. And it was like, what? And I was like, Mom, you're blurred. You're an otaku. And she was like, no, I only watched that. I was like, didn't you watch Gotcha Man? She was like, what's Gotcha Man? I was like, you never watched G-Force? She was like, oh yeah, the bird joint is hot. No, I hit her with the other joint. I was like, oh, you watch this too, right? She like, yeah. I was like, boop. She was like, all right. All right, you rest your case. My mom went out that day and bought a Ninja Turtles fit. And she was on deck. Then after that, she was walking around in the Dragon Ball fit. And she was like watching the anime. She was like, yo, you know what? I need some Pokemon drip too. So she went and got her the Pokemon drip. And she was like, actually, I should have known all along because I was buying you all the video games. She was buying me the import games. You know what I'm saying? She low-key was in the mix with it.
Yeah.
Now, my dad was very different. You know what I'm saying? He respected it after a while and he would watch it with the kids. But he came from a time where like you couldn't own a TV if you was black. You know what I'm saying? Having leisure wasn't something. You needed money as a black person to be able to do things. So like that part. So it was like after a while he kind of got it because he always respected like his favorite. He didn't want to put me on the Wu-Tang Clan because he was big into like that type stuff. His favorite member of the Wu-Tang Clan was Ghostface Killer. And one of my proudest moments was being able to like open up for Ghostface and be like, yo, thank you for like letting my dad hear these thoughts you had. And it was just like a very different acceptance from the two. My mom was like, I don't get it. And then I told her like it's partially your fault. And she's like, I'm gonna dive in. And my dad like, I don't get it. Show it to me. I respect it. I'm glad that my work in civil rights allowed you to be able to be in this space. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even know that during the civil rights era, there was a whole movement where Asian people were with us through a lot of that. And there was a lot of Asian civil rights activists too. And that's like where a lot of people want to be part of like anime culture, Asian culture. Everybody want to eat, Chinese food and go to Chinatown. Everybody want to do K-pop dances and listen to K-pop. Everybody want to watch anime and do martial arts. But then, you want to judge our Asian brothers and sisters, or you want to look down on them when something happened. Like when COVID happened, everybody was turning heel on everybody that, even looked Asian. And I doubled down. I was like, all right, bet I'm only spending money at H Mart. Like, y'all weird. You know what I'm saying? It's too much hate in the world. And I think that's one of the biggest issues. Colorism, light skin versus dark skin. You know what I'm saying? Caste system, rich people versus poor people. And then now, like, even in America right now, even though it's like crazy, it's like someone's always the issue. The American system is built on someone to blame. Well, you know what I'm saying? In the beginning, we're blaming the British. Now we're blaming the indigenous people. Now we're blaming, this language speaking people. Then, now it's the slaves' fault. Now it's this immigrant's fault. Now it's, the Spanish people's fault or the Asian people's fault. It's like really crazy that we always have to find somebody to take the blame for something instead of accepting it. You know what I'm saying? If I spill a cup of water, nobody's in the house. It definitely was this table. It's lopsided. Whoever constructed this house. Oh, this cup was unsturdy.
Yeah.
Oh, the ice cubes were too big. I spilled this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of being like, yeah, I didn't want that water that much. That was granite. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah. I definitely get that. And we definitely got to talk about Heroes for Hire, the dynamic nerdcore duo, and how did that start and what was the inspiration for you guys to come together to start the group?
You want me to talk about Ray Riley, the Shinigami of Death, the man, the myth, the legend?
Oh, by the
Can
way, by the way, before you answer, I love when it was Super Game Day and when you went to Philly Otaku Con, the whole stick that you do of trying to find him. That was hilarious. I just want to say that.
Oh yeah, man, that goes way back, right? So like, many of times I've walked right past Ray and
Yeah.
not known because Ray is so quiet and observant. You know what I'm saying? And Ray will let you walk past him. So the first time I ever did it, Ray had a mask on, mask I never seen before, right? And he looked at me while I walked past him, right? And I didn't recognize him because it's like people be wearing the same clothes as other people. I walked past him 3 or 4 times, didn't notice him. I call his phone, right, and I hear his ringtone, and I turn around and I look. I'm like, word. All right, that was cool. That was a
Yeah.
good joint. But now I done seen your mask, so now you can't beat this joint no more. So I was like, one day I was like, yo, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start getting a group of people, and we're gonna see who can find Ray first. And
Mm.
it became a little thing. But yeah. So the me and Ray Riley story is a layered story, right? So it all starts right. This go. So when I started doing music and I was moving away from the gangster rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
My mother was like, "Yo, your cousin Charisma, she's having a birthday party. You should go to that joint and show love." And at the time, she was on the CW. She was the black girl on the CW. And I was like, "All right, bet I'll go over there, whatever." And she was having a joint. It's a Club Van Gogh in Philadelphia. She was having a party there. So I
Mm-hmm.
pull up and I have my brother with me, and we go to the joint or whatever. We, dress to the nines, real fresh, got the button ups on, whatever, whatever. So we
Mm-hmm.
pull up or whatever and say happy birthday, this, that, and the third. We catch up, because I've been out the way for a minute because I was raising my kids,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get married, all that. So
Mm-hmm.
then she was like, "Oh, cuz, what you been up to?" I was like, "Oh, I do music now." At the time, I
Yeah.
was doing dubstep. I had transitioned from gangster rap and I was doing dubstep. I was hosting dubstep parties, putting out dubstep songs, so on and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. The
Mm-hmm.
whole rave scene. So she was like, "Well, my friend does music. Maybe you two could mesh." So I met her friend,
Mm-hmm.
this dude named Q Logic. So then, Q Logic got a distinct voice. He's like, "Yo, what's up? My name Q Logic. You know what I'm saying? I'm from North Philly. You know what I'm saying? That's your cousin. That's like my cousin. We should do some music together." So I'm like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna work with Bull. So we
Yeah.
end up going to the studio. We end up messing with this weird white bull. He
Yeah.
had an apartment. It was just so much cabbage, lettuce, other types of vegetation. So we're working on the music or whatever. And I'm like, all right, this is like a whole different situation. And
Mm-hmm.
then he's like, yo, is this joint called The Gather? I'm sorry. Yo, is this joint called The Gathering in West Philly? And like, it's dope and you should go to it if you gonna be an MC. And I was like, all right, word. I'm gonna go to this joint called The Gathering. So we go
Yeah.
up there, whatever, and I met IB Forever, legendary MC, Now Hart, legendary MC. I started meeting B-boys and graffiti artists and DJs, so on and so forth. We got a big music scene. We got a crazy dance scene in the city, crazy graffiti scene, crazy DJ scene, crazy MC scene. There's like a threefold MC scene. There's like the hardcore drug dealers, rappers, and there's
Mm.
like the backpack rappers, and there's like the strange, different poetic rappers or whatever. So I'm going to the gathering, and then like you got to battle to earn respect. So it's ciphers outside, and if you get it to ciphers outside, then you
Mm-hmm.
get to the ciphers inside. So I tear my way up to the ciphers inside, and then Q Logic is like, "I want to warn you, Trey. The only person that's ever beat me in a fair 1-on-1, he's here." And I'm like, "Who is it? I'm gonna take their head off. You my OG. We gonna go in." He was like, "His name is HMO. He's a nasty individual." So I'm like, "All right, bet." So
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm gonna take Bull out. I go to
Mm-hmm.
rap battle and I'm using what I've been using. You know what I'm saying? In Philly, it's like, gun punch lines, food punch lines, whatever,
Mm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Bro pulls out the Street Fighter lines.
Oh shit.
He pulls out the Mortal Kombat lines. And I'm looking like,
You're like, what the hell is going on?
y'all know what these are? I didn't, what? So then I switch up and I start pulling out the anime lines and he matches my energy. And I'm like, this is crazy. I can't believe this. I didn't know we was allowed to do this. And then Q Logic is like, Z, this is what I was talking about. This is exactly what hip hop is. and this going to take you to the next level. So I started coming to the gathering every month. This is actually the 30th year of the gathering. It's
Mm-hmm.
a family friendly event. It's the last Thursday of every month at the
Mm-hmm.
Rotunda at 40th and Walnut in the West Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm earning my stripes, I'm earning my stripes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally get on the stage. When
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the stage, right, you get to hold the mic, and if you whack, they take it from you. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not gonna be
Oh.
wet. I'm not gonna be wet. So I'm really going in or whatever. And then I kind of earn my stripes. Then one day, Agent Mo walks by me and he said, hey, do me a favor, hold
Yeah.
this for me. And
Mm-hmm.
don't let nobody whack up there. I'm like, bet. And I look in my hand, he hands me the mic, which means I'm an official gathering MC. And
Mm-hmm.
now I can kick people off stage. Man, I went crazy. I was battling everybody. I'm like, get off the stage, you wet. Get off the stage, you wet. Whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
So I became like official member of the gathering team.
Mm-hmm.
And then, unfortunately, around that time, Mo had got sick, but
Mm-hmm.
he didn't tell any of us that he got sick. But
Mm-hmm.
what he did, he started making moves. He
Yeah.
introduces me to this dude. He's like, yo, this bull is dope. And I think that y'all will be dope together. And I'm like, word, I'll meet the bull off the strength of you. And he introduces me to Ray Riley. Ray Riley's nasty on the mic, freestyle bull, all that. I'm like, oh, I like bull. He's really fire.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yo, I got this song. You should hop on it. He sends me the beat or whatever. I write to it. I'm ready to record. I call him. He's like, yeah, that song's never coming out. That group is no longer a group. So within the
Mm.
time he gave me the beat, I wrote to the beat and wanted to record it. The group was over. And I
Mm.
was sad.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, after that, Agent Mo passed away. And it really hit hard. And his mother threw a block party for him, and we all met up at the block party. It was like me, a bunch of MCs, b-boys, whatever, whatever. And Q Logic was there, and Ray was there, and Ray was like, yo, bro, we owe it to Mo to do that song he never got to hear. And I
Mm.
was like, we can't do that, we gotta do something. He was like, we're gonna work on something. So Ray gives me this other song, and
Mm-hmm.
it's going on his project. He's making a Marvel versus Capcom project.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go on the J1 Studio sound page. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hype. I'm like, all right, what's J1 Studios?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, it's a convention, a black owned convention. Da, da,
Mm-hmm.
da, da. So that's when I joined the J1 sound team. So I
Mm.
go and I make this song about Richard Ryder. It's called Nova Prime. It's really fire. And then Jason's like, all right, we'll do a limited release and we'll see how they react to it.
Mm.
So we put out the limited release. It got good reviews, but it wasn't my best work. So I was kind of like frustrated. I'm like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
want to really break into like this con scene. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And around this time, this is when I met Megaran. And I'm like, yo, he's from Philly. Like he used to be a teacher. He's dope. And I spit some bars for him. He's like, yo, you're actually nice, bro. I think that there could be a place for you in nerdcore. And I was like, so I was like, man, this is great. This is crazy. And then I told Ray, I was like, yo, Ray, we
Mm-hmm.
need to do another song. So we went and we wrote this song. I had a meeting with my boy Iron Mike, RIP,
Mm-hmm.
and the MC in control was there. And then Ray shows up at the beat. So we're at Taco Bell, not far from the gathering. We writing the bars or whatever. And Iron was supposed to get on the song. And
Mm-hmm.
Iron was like, actually, there's something here, and I think y'all should finish it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
how we ended up writing the Heroes for Hire song. And from
Mm.
Heroes for Hire, it just blew up from there because we started performing it everywhere before we
Yeah.
ever saying recorded it. We were doing it at the J1 meetups. We were doing it at the anime swap meets. We were doing it at the cosplay meetups. We were doing it at like random food luncheons. And I
Mm.
was like, Ray, I think we should really lock in. So then we
Mm.
started Heroes for Hire as a production team. We were
Mm.
producing for other people's. We had a girl
Mhm.
group we were producing for. We did gospel, we did reggae, we did country. We are doing a
Mhm.
lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Mhm.
But it just was like we kept coming up with these song ideas. And then Ray was like, yo, we need to take it to the next level. And I was like, what? He was like, you ever been to Otakon? And I
Mhm.
was like, what's Otakon? He was like, so Ray gets me to go to Otakon. I had a crazy way getting to Otakon. It's a whole nother story. So I finally get to Otakon. I experience Otakon. I'm like, I have to write about this experience. So I
Mhm.
wrote a 5 verses about the experience. And Ray's like, let's turn this into an EP. So we
Mm.
made the Con EP, right? And we were going to put it out. And then the studio we recorded it at, the computer melted.
Oh
So
my.
now we don't know if we're ever gonna get these songs. So now I'm depressed. I'm frustrated. And Ray's like, we can't stop here. We just gonna keep putting out songs. And maybe one day we'll re-record those songs. So we did. We put out all these different songs in a year. And then
Mm-hmm.
we ended up compiling them together and we made the Singles for Hire album. And then we end up getting the files for the Con EP after that. And then we end up putting that out on Sony. We ended up putting both projects out on Sony. We got a distribution deal when we signed with Marston House and we put our stuff out through Sony. And after that, I was like, what's next, Ray? He was like, we really need to take these cons by storm. And that's
Yeah.
when we started going to like different cons. So we ended up going to like cons in New York, like Anime NYC, and cons in Jersey, like you know what I'm saying? There's so many cons we've done in Jersey.
Yes, you've done a
And
lot.
yeah. And then we did cons in Philly, you know what I'm saying? And then we did Baltimore, and then we did DC and BlurCon in Virginia, and then we went did Anime Midwest in Chicago,
Hmm.
and then we did just multiple cons. We're still working. We have so many cons to do, but it just that's the story of how me and Ray linked together. It's definitely a bond that one of our friends decided that since we were so doped together that we
Hmm.
should make music together. And unfortunately, they didn't get to see the finished product, but they got to hear what would become so many of the things we were working on. So I'm really thankful to have met Ray and be a partner with Ray and have all this dope music out and performances and still have so much more to come.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I love how you answered the question because it answered like a few questions I had. I had questions about the gathering, like how you were part of it. I love that you
Oh
answered
yeah,
that
yeah,
through that, and
yeah.
I love like how you answered the question. It answered a few of the things that I.
Oh, I didn't answer the Heroes League question. Did you ask the Heroes League question
I,
yet?
I
No?
was I was I was about to. I
All
was
right.
gonna ask
All right, all
about
right.
I was gonna ask about the welcome to the so recently welcome to the Heroes League, and how did the officials Heroes League come to be? Because there's a group of people within the
Yeah.
Heroes League, and all of them are doing their own separate projects, but you guys are doing your own projects. You have music coming out this year, which I know certain things you can't say because I watched most of the updates that you had like for the past few months. So yeah, so definitely I want you to talk about it because all of them are doing amazing things. You guys are doing amazing things together, especially like Black Spaz, like Spaz Fridays and all the stuff that you guys have going on.
Yeah. All right. So, whoo. All right. So, when me, Ray started moving, right, we built this energy with us, right?
Hmm.
And so many of our friends from when we first started doing everything were also creatives. One of our longtime friends and art designer, Kiosha, she started her own fashion company called Black Star Fashion. So we started doing fashion shows with her, and she started doing some designs for us, clothing designs. And then she made the robe that I'm wearing in some of the footage. If you see the Kotsky robe, she
Yeah.
made that from scratch.
Hmm.
So then, like another one of our friends, Mick Nux, he started like a whole streaming situation. He did a couple ones. He started Past the Controller,
Hmm.
interviewing like voice actors and game developers and stuff like that. And then he also had a hand in helping making Head Nerds in Charge.
Hmm.
Uh, then we also like so many different people were building all these things around us. So
Hmm.
as we're moving with the Heroes League, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, people are always trying to get involved in that. And
Yeah.
I was like, watching them do their own musical journey, and I was
Hmm.
like, I wonder if they would be receptive to help.
Mm.
So when we started doing things, Ray also started his own streaming team. Shout out to Project Six Claws. And Ray was kind of occupied. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting all these shows for us. We're getting local shows in Philly and Jersey, New York. And it's like Ray was divided at that time. He had a lot going on.
Mm. Yeah.
So I was like, Ray was like, well, we got a couple other collaborators, maybe take them out. So one of the first people to join the Heroes League was our friend Spaz Black. Spaz
Hmm.
Black had previously been part of J1 Studios and
Yeah.
previously had been in a group with Ray. And at this time, me and Spaz were in a group together called Umbrella Corp. which is like a hardcore Resident Evil type thing.
Mhm.
So we welcomed him into the fold. And then another member of the J1 sound team, our friend who was a chef at the time, Fire,
Mhm.
we were like, yo, you do alt rock rap and stuff like that. Would you like to be on deck? So then we pulled those two people in, and then like we did the initial Heroes League situation. And we did like a year as that version of the Heroes League, and we realized there were some like things we needed to improve on. We didn't have a photographer. And my cousin LKG Photography, he was around. I was like, "Yo, would you be interested? Like, you're already going to cons, you're already in the otaku life. Would you be interested in like maybe being a photographer or videographer for us?" He was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind." So then that came in. And then we were looking into expanding into like Heroes League models. So
Mhm.
we brought in a couple models as a trial basis, and they all ended up like going on their own and doing their own things. To shout to them
Mhm.
and everything that they've done. So we still tap in with them sometimes, but that part didn't really springboard like everything else.
Yeah.
And then Spaz had a lot of things going on with him, so at that time he had to take a break.
Mm.
So with him taking a break, we have like a four-man setup. We got stage moves and high kicks and jumps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, what are we gonna do? So also at that time, our DJ at the time, DJ Awesomeness Prime, he
Mhm.
was in transition to Florida. So now we don't have a DJ and we don't
Mm.
have like a four-man group. So we had to like figure out. So thankfully Ray was able to become a DJ. He became DJ Shin and was the
Mhm.
Heroes League DJ.
Yeah.
And then my son stepped up. He was like, "Dad, I kind of want to do music." And I was like,
Mm.
"What?" Yeah, I know this verse, and this verse, and this verse. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Words, what's your rap name gonna be?" He was
Mhm.
like, "I want to be the king of ghouls. I want to be Black Con." So I was like, "Oh, word." So then Black Kaneki joins the league.
Mhm.
So then while all this is happening, I'm saying my longtime collaborator and Corfu Am Down brother, Steve Skaggs, is like, yo, bro, like, yo, I want to help any way I can because I see how you're moving. So he comes into the group as the narrator. So he
Mm.
narrates the story
Yeah.
because throughout the albums, we've been loosely making a storyline,
Mhm.
and it's kind of crazy how the storyline works.
Mhm.
Like if you listen into the intros or listen to the songs,
Yeah.
it's all one cohesive universe.
Mm.
So as he becomes the narrator, then it's like, where do we go from here? And
Mhm.
I have another group I'm in called Ghost Gang,
Yeah.
and one of my friends in there, because Ghost Gang, everybody was in college together, everybody went their own separate ways, and we were uniting to do shows, but we haven't really done a lot as Ghost Gang. Corfu also has kind of been on hiatus. We had a lot of like death
Mhm.
in that group, so we've been
Mm.
kind of like off to the side. So
Mhm.
my boy Matthew Raheem was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get down with y'all. Like, you think I could?" And he already had a song called "The Monkey King." Ghost Gang is very high energy. Uh, with anime bars and stuff like that. So I was like, yo, you would be a perfect fit. So
Yeah.
now I was like, dang, we got to reshape what that means now.
Yeah.
Because now we're a seven-man team,
Mhm.
thing previously being like a quartet.
Mhm.
So then as we're building everything up, the whole storyline starts coming together. So if you look at the timeline, if you've been following the Heroes
Mhm.
for Hire, what I'm saying? Canonically, the first album is the Con EP, right? That
Mhm.
happens in the real.
Mhm.
But then canonically in the we'll say the animated verse, we have the singles for hire. It's like
Mhm.
missions. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then that leads into I think we're up to so we've got the reanimation jutsu,
Mhm.
we've got Welcome to the Heroes League, we have Heroes Rising, and then that's where we are with the storyline so far. So it's
Mhm.
not hard to catch up if anybody wants to catch up with the storyline. No, but if I told you we had 12 albums coming that are all going to lead into the storyline, it's going to be pretty crazy. Plus, we have two secret characters that are going to be unlockable soon
Mm.
throughout the year. So it's like the Heroes League, everybody has something to bring to it. You know what I'm saying? Dot Shen is a DJ. He's also a producer, engineer, and an MC.
Mhm.
Then you got Fire. He's a guitarist and a comedian, and also an MC, and he's a
Mhm.
dancer.
Mhm.
Then you got LKG Photography, the
Yes.
video guy, the photo guy,
Mhm.
also cosplays and dances.
Mhm.
Uh, Then you got Matthew Raheem, you know what I'm saying? Cosplayer, dancer, producer, engineer, MC, and a poet.
Mhm.
Then you got Kaneki. He's a dancer. He's like the high energy rave dude, cosplayer, big emo vibes. Then the narrator also is leveled up where he's a split personality now. So he's the narrator with the smooth R&B voice that tells you what's happening. But also he's debuting as a rapper under the alias Outlaw Kirby Star. So
Mm.
whole rollout for him. He has a lot of projects this year because Steve is also a book author as well as he plays 10 instruments. He's an engineer,
Mm.
producer. You know what I'm saying? He has a book about fighting vampires in high school. It's really crazy. Um, and then we also are bringing in the fold. We have a singer that's going to be
Mhm.
unlockable character, and we also have another MC that's going to be unlockable character. Plus, I heard there's rumors of the resurrection of Spaz Black. If you listen to the
Mm.
albums, he
Yeah.
dies on one of the
Mhm.
albums. But
Mhm.
did he really die? These
That's
are
what
all
everybody
questions.
wants to know.
Right. And then, we still never did the beginning of the timeline. The
Mhm.
Heroes for Hire Origin album has never dropped, which
Mhm.
describes how Trey Digger, the legendary Super Saiyan, met up with Shinigami, the Man of Death, and forged the Heroes for Hire. But
Mm.
I wish I could leak all the music because I sit there and I work on the music and I be listening. I went live in the studio
Yeah, I saw
a
that.
couple of days ago,
Mhm.
and Roy was so mad. He was like, "Why are you leaking the storyline?" And I was like, "It's cool, bro. It's one song. I only played one verse." He was so frustrated with me.
Yeah.
So like talking about rollouts, this year, last year we did a soft drop for a collaboration project we did with a longtime collaborator, Skinny Bones the Godfather from the Netherlands. We did a project with him called Housewarming with the Marston House label. Marston House Records is with the Heroes League and Heroes for Hire assigned to right now.
Mhm.
And it's a 5-track EP. It's out on Bandcamp right now, but it's going to be on all streaming platforms by the end of the month.
Mhm.
Steve has a solo project with him, uh, untitled at the moment, but
Mhm.
there's a Heroes League feature on there. So that's two projects featuring the Heroes League.
Mhm.
Me and Ray have been doing collaborative efforts with Skinny Bones now since 2023. There's a group that we're a part of called the Holiday Hoodlums, where we
Yes.
only do holiday songs.
Mhm.
And sometimes they turn out really great, sometimes they turn out chaotic, but it's just an experiment because people within the horrorcore genre or people that do like UK music really dig it and they like those songs. It's not exactly friendly as some of our nerdcore stuff,
Yeah.
but it's definitely fun. We have songs about like St. Patrick's Day and Christmas and Valentine's Day and stuff like that. And so that Holiday Hoodlum album volume 2 is about to be on all streaming platforms. And we're working on volume 3 now. The first single for volume 3 is coming out on the 20th.
Mhm.
Black Koneke's second project, which is a teaser for his third project, the Black Koneke EP will be dropping at the end of this month. And or maybe sooner. Maybe sooner. Matthew Raheem, his project, the first one, not the EP will be dropping. Uh Give you like a preview into his nerdcore persona. Then we
Mhm.
have Fire solo project. His will be dropping later. And then Ray Riley's first solo project as the
Mm.
MC will be dropping.
Yeah.
Then a little Trade Digger project because I dropped the album last year
Yes.
and it was an amalgamation of all of my EPs. So I've been dropping free the EPs over the last couple of years. So I dropped free the EP one, free two, three, four, five, and then I
Mhm.
was like, the people deserve to be able to listen to it in fruition. So then I snuck in 5 bonus tracks. We call it the free quill.
Mhm.
So that'll be coming out. That's out right now on all streaming platforms. And then, there's going to be maybe 2 Heroes League albums this year, maybe
Mhm.
two.
Mhm.
It depends on if I can convince Ray to let them out. And then there'll also be maybe 2 Heroes for Hire projects this year, depending on if we can get all the features back for one
Mhm.
and if the other one comes out at a certain time. So,
Mm.
like, that's like the rollout now. That doesn't I can't tell you what music videos are coming out. We have
You're
music
good.
videos in the I can't tell you singles are coming out. We have singles and I can't tell you what features. Just we've been working really hard and I'm very proud of our progression
Hmm.
and I'm just excited for 2026.
No, yeah, the Heroes League is about to take over. That's what I feel like. Cause like for real, like
Man,
y'all in here, y'all not stopping for
the league is so good, I don't be wanting to rap. Like Luke Fist and Iron Cage. Yeah. Look, listen, right? I know martial arts
real.
and I'm kind of pale. I also look kind of Asian, right? So I'm definitely Iron Fist. Now, whether I'm
Mm.
Danny Rand or not, I'm an amalgamation. You know, amalgam verse, a little DC, a little Marvel, maybe a little, real, a little less. You know what I'm saying? But Ray is also black and bald and likes to wear plain colored shirts. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not,
Or not, but
but
anyways, like,
he also takes a lot of strays, right? Because we be busting on each other. We from Philly, so we do the dozens. And Ray be catching strays. So like he's never really hurt. So he definitely is Luke Cage. So I mean, I'm not against that idea. Maybe in one universe we are Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Maybe Danny Rand, a little, what I'm saying, Power Man. Yes, buy it. Yes. Right now, go sample the music. The Heroes for Hire music is on all streaming platforms. There are music videos, you can see a little handsomeness, but the music is out there. And make Ray release the Iron Fist Luke Cage song. Because the first time someone said that he looked like Luke Cage, he was like, that song ain't never coming out now. And I was like, bro, it's so good. And then like the Netflix show came out and it was just like, yeah, no. And I was just like, please. And he was like, nobody believes this.
damn.
So sell
Well,
him on the fact that it needs to come out because there are so many songs. I'm
mhm.
sitting on so many songs I can't convince Ray to put out. Nobody wants to hear that.
I,
It was pulling teeth to get the Fantastic Four song out.
that
Pulling
yeah.
teeth.
Yeah, but it came out. It came out very well from what I saw, and like definitely, you guys did your thing.
Yeah, man. I like it. It didn't do as well as I wanted it to. We got hit with some copyrights, but
Mm,
it's okay. The music video is fire. The song is fire. I like it. I don't care. It's gonna pick back up in December when Doomsday drops.
true.
So
Yeah,
maybe we should put Doctor Doom on it.
maybe. And
Yeah,
also,
it'll be hot, right?
yeah, it would be. And also, I definitely got to talk about get your sponsor, but you also work with them. Origin to Play. Shout out to everybody at Origins to Play. You've
Oh
been
yeah.
to do a lot of performances with them, events with them, and all of that. So how did you guys even like come together and like how has it been? Just working with them. Being involved with Super Game Day and everything like that.
So the origins of Play Story goes all the way back to South Street, right? When J1 was still not a con, but more of a meetup situation. There
Mm,
was the J1 Annex and then the J1 Prom and then like the J1 Music Fest. That's how I met the founder of Origins of Play, Sherman. And, Sherman became in charge of the gaming at J1 Con.
mm,
And J1's only once a year now. It used to be like an event every 2 months because it
mm,
was like the beginning of the year. They would do March Madness, the gaming tournament, and music festival, whatever. Then they would do the J1 prom 2 months later. Then 2 months after that, they would do the J1 Music Fest. So that would be March. Then it would be May. Then that would be July. Then J1 Con would roll around like September. You know what I'm saying? And then we would end up doing like a Christmas party. So it'd be like 5 events a year. That's not counting cons we went to or stuff like that. So as Jason wanted to like focus on the con to make it the best it could be, he's like, all right, well, the J1, the March Madness now, that's getting folded in. So we're going to do
mm,
the tournament at J1 Con. And then it was like J1 Prom, now we're doing that the first night at J1 Con. And it's like
mm,
J1 Music Fest is now going to be the night at J1. And it's like J1 Con is now going to be strictly in the wintertime, which also falls
Mm,
Christmas party.
mm,
And then Sherman was like, man, I really enjoy doing tournaments and I really enjoy doing this stuff. Maybe there's a way I can bring that joy to other places. So then
mm,
Sherman started doing the tournaments, you know, under the J1 branding. But then, it's like people were like, oh, I already saw J1 here. Why do I need to go to the con? So to keep
mm,
away from the distraction of that, he separated into his own branding and made Origins a Play. And then initially, it was just like regular tournaments, but he took it to the VR and then the virtual racing. And then he started like sponsoring other cons. And then that's how he hooked up with the three dudes that started Super Game Day
mm,
because they were doing cons and they were like, yo, a lot of the fun in cons is taken away by like them overcharging vendors or being focused on getting as many vendors in there and not really bringing what made a con be a con. So
mm,
shout out to the dudes at Super Game Day too. Great dudes, free event. You know what I'm saying? Twice a year.
mm,
And it really builds up the hype for people who are getting into like the con lifestyle. So then Sherman started doing cons in the local area,
mm,
reasonable price, great product, great staff, really puts it hard in it, does the promotion. You know what I'm saying? It is really inspiring. So I was like saying to him, like, yo, Sherman, we've worked together before on so many different things.
mm.
It's a possible way that I could work with you with doing some of the origin to play stuff. He was like,
Yeah,
yeah, man. Like, I love you, Trey Dickett. I love Ray Riley. He was like, y'all should be part of it. And I was like, nah, I don't want to just be part of it, man. I want to prove to you
yeah.
that I'm worth being part of this. So he was like, well, if you can make an event, make an event. So I was
Mm-hmm,
just popping out to events. And
mm-hmm.
he was like, man, this is a great thing. He's like, I'm good. I'm sponsoring y'all. And I was like, you sponsoring us? I was like, oh, great. I was like, all right, bet. And I was like, this is excellent. This is even better. He's like, oh, I thought I was sponsoring you from the get-go. And I was like, oh, this is great. And it's just like just being a part of everything that they're doing, being able to host cosplay contests with them, being able to give out prizes to kids with them, being able to do commentary with them, being able to interview cosplayers. It's been a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone knows like when you go to J1 Con, it's gonna be a great time. You know what I'm saying? But to be able to have more events like that again, to be able to travel more and do things, it's really amazing that Origin of Play can bring what we were doing, that black excellence that was a small part of the Philly, Jersey, Delaware scene to be able to bring that, that Philadelphia love, you know what I'm saying, to different places and show them the authenticity and professionalism that we cultivated over the years to all these different spots. The team that Sherman's put together, the product Sherman's put together, his business guarantee, Origins of Play is one of a kind. And
Mm-hmm.
proud to be there to enjoy it, but also even prouder to be sponsored by them. Definitely top tier uh, business people, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. I'll be telling Sherman, yo, we need an Origins Con, and like I'm just you're like bringing the con to everyone. Like if you ever been to like a con, you see Origins of Play when they set up their area. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like you're in like how like you play Pokemon, you go to like the
Yeah.
Pokemon or
Mm-hmm.
like you be like gotta go get items. It
Yeah.
feels like a stop con. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm seeing here. They got casual play, they got tournaments, and then Project K be there. He's got Project K's corner. So like he be selling like collectibles. He be like, oh, little items I can pick up to power me up. And then sometimes what I'm saying? The other members of Origin to Play might have like drinks or they might have food or candy. So now you're getting little power ups and whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, and everybody's family over there. It's like not no ego. It's really dope. So it's like, sometimes you go to the bigger cons and they forget what the smaller cons are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you find Origins of Play at a con, it's like, oh, this is where I'm going to take my breaks. It's
Yeah.
definitely a vibe. So like Origins Con, make it happen.
Make it happen, Sherman. Make it happen, man.
Terminator. Yo, Terminator. I'm going to make you rap too. Mark my words. Now you got
Oh,
to rap.
now you're trying to stress him out.
No. Because I done got him to dance, right? I got the Terminator to dance. Now I got to get him to rap.
Oh man, that's gonna be fun the next time I see him. If he make it.
put a mic in his hand. I'm like, yo, Sherman, bars. He'd be like,
Like,
Sherman, yo, I
like
ain't gonna hold you.
I'm gonna go for there.
Sherman really inspired us. You know the song "Game Time We On
Yeah.
Go."
Hmm.
That's heavily inspired by like Origins of
Mm.
Play and
Hmm.
just like the energy that they bring and just like the idea that you could be a gamer openly and it'd be okay. Cause he does all types of tournaments. He does
Yeah.
Madden tournaments.
Hmm.
He does, you know, so he's done Fortnite tournaments. He's done
Hmm.
all the fighting tournaments
Hmm.
and the free play from retro gaming to like whatever you can think of. So
Hmm.
it's like it really inspired us to do like our individual gamer journeys. And in my verse, I talk about like how my mom and dad put me on the games to keep me out the street.
Hmm.
And then I did the same thing for my kids and how, you know, being a gamer is a legacy in my family.
Hmm.
And in Ray's verse, he talks about how like he got bullied for being a gamer until being gaming was good. Then everybody came to him to be like, yo, teach me how to game. And he's like, how the tables have turned. It's like a really good joint. So like maybe I could convince Sherman, like, yo, since we made this song inspired by you, like maybe you could put some bars on this joint. Like, I don't know.
Hopefully, that would definitely be a cool thing. And I think one thing that was really cool that you got to do was that you were, due to the Hip Hop Foundation, they collaborated with the Pennsylvania Educator Diversity Consortium, and you were able to help with the creative cipher workshop. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
being that like you're like you've been doing ciphers for a long time, how did you feel being able to do that workshop?
So the first time I was ever able to do an after school program was with Ghost Gang through like a temple like community initiative,
Hmm.
and we went to like after school program and freestyle with the kids. That was like, you know, we did that maybe 2 or 3 times. And I was like, yo, this is really cool. And then there was another opportunity where I got tapped when I was in Corfu to go do it for like private schools, you know, go into private schools and teach them the fundamentals of hip hop. And I was like, this is also dope, but like, how do I give back closer to like what I grew up doing? And
Hmm.
then I did some classes at like a daycare where I was teaching kids like the difference between the music they hear,
Hmm.
the music that doesn't get heard to them. So like underground hip hop versus uh like mainstream hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And I put them on to like some underground artists that they may not have known at the time.
Hmm.
And then when I got the call from the Hip Hop Foundation, they were like, yo, didn't you do some classes previous? And I was like, well, I did classes with private school students. I did classes with at-risk youth. And then I did classes with like daycare children as an after school program. It was like, well, how would you like to do classes with like Philadelphia students? And I was like, that is the one place that I've been trying to get to, the hearts of the children that are closest to me, because I grew up in the Philadelphia school district. So I
Hmm.
was like, I would be all in. And they gave me the opportunity to do this workshop where I
Hmm.
got to describe the cipher. And, you know, we've discussed the cipher, what it's meant to me. You know, I've been
Hmm.
able to claim my identity through the cipher. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Through the gathering,
Hmm.
through the bell tower cipher, we did a temple,
Yeah.
ciphering in New York,
Hmm.
ciphering at conventions.
Hmm.
Even when we were doing the J1 meetups, we used to
Yeah.
cipher those. So
Hmm.
I was able to bring that in. I was able to talk about like how the cipher started, the communication of the cipher, the format of the cipher, and just I helped these kids write these verses. And you know, it was a short workshop; it was only an hour long, so everybody only got to spit like 4 to 8 bars. But
Hmm.
everybody got, they was like, oh well, you know, they were rapping about things, and I was like, "Er, rap about what you know, because then when you say it, it'll come off better and you'll feel better about it. Don't
Hmm.
rap about cars and money and drugs and women and those things you don't live. Like, what do you do when you go home? So, oh,
Hmm.
I be hanging out with my grandmother and I be doing my homework, but that's boring. Nah, that's fire to somebody. Somebody be like, I just clocked out of work. Yeah, I'm hurt, but I'm going home to grandma's. You know, she put in work. She got a little bit of cooking done. I'm hungry, and you know what happened when I'm hangry. Yeah, I'm angry, but the food's so good. Yeah, I love every time I go back to the hood. Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit lumpy, but you know I love my oatmeal chunky. Where the cookies at? Like something like that.
Yeah.
And you know, uh, then all the kids were there, and they were just like, "All right." we're gonna write these down. So I had somebody write about how they learned how to braid hair and they used to braid their cousin's hair. And I had somebody write about, how they a fat boy and how they come in the house to eat all the snacks. I had somebody write about like how they like to like watch TV shows, and I had another kid write about anime, and it was really dope. And I was hoping that some of the footage came out. They had like little clips, but like not the whole thing. And I
Mhm.
was like to do like more classes like that. It was really dope, and it was like I was able to like help some of these kids. I also did another workshop
Mhm.
uh, through the Rich Quick Foundation, my friend that passed away.
Mhm.
Uh, and every year they give a scholarship to an upcoming artist to help with college or with their music. We did a workshop where we went in there and we helped them write songs. So we put a beat on, and then they would write something, and we would teach them how to record it, or we would help them produce the song, and then everybody would get on it, and then they would perform it a couple weeks later. And it was really dope to touch on that side too. So
Mhm.
it's like being a teacher, I could see doing that one day. Uh, it definitely is good to give back to the community and help raise another generation of artists. Like, my son, I never thought he was going to do music. He's always been around music. You can catch him in a lot of my music videos in the background or cipher
Mhm.
videos, whatever,
Mhm.
whatever, photos at shows. But when he said he wanted to do music, I was like, all right, bet. You
Yeah.
already like grandfathered in. I'm like, your dad did music, your grandfather did music, grandma did music, cousin did music, whatever, whatever. So I started taking him to the studio and letting him play around with stuff. And then he was like recording with his friends at like different spots. And he was like, "Oh man, you're yeah, we should do this differently." And he
Mhm.
started teaching his friends how to make music. And
Mhm.
like, look at the flowers and look how they're blossoming. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So I definitely believe in teaching the youth. It's a lot of gatekeeping in music and a lot of gatekeeping in hip hop in general. And I'm seeing a lot of that now in the nerd community too, gatekeeping with cosplay and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like, I don't understand why the final boss of
Thank
Light.
you, the no
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I'll be out here. I'll be doing some things. So I really appreciate the ability to give back without, what I'm saying, judgment. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? The problem I see a lot in the nerdcore community is it's okay for me to have something. It's okay for my friends to have something. But if you're too close or similar to that, we're not going to connect. Which when I came into the nerd community, it was not like that. It was like,
Mhm.
you like Dragon Ball? I like Dragon Ball. You like video games? I like video games. You like ramen? I like ramen. And now it's a lot of clickism. And you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's cool for us to be one nerd clique against like whoever's opposing us, but we shouldn't be clicked up against each other. I think that's weird. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'm definitely trying very much to like spread these branches. So that's why Ray has 3 people that he's training in music right now. That's a whole different situation. And then Kaneki has another group of MCs he's working with. He's teaching them
Mhm.
about stage presence. When I've been booking his shows, he's been inviting his friends who have never performed before to perform with him.
Mhm.
And yeah, man, it's just it's beautiful to be able to add a little seasoning onto the already, flavorful culture that we're a part of.
That's true, and I just want to touch on it very briefly, but like I do love that you keep your friend Rich Quick alive, and like for people that may not know about like his like because like not only do you keep it alive, like you still keep the group alive, the core fam down, and then like you guys have done tributes, you guys have done events, you guys make sure to always acknowledge him, and there's always something that you guys do to keep not only his legacy alive, but like all of you guys as artists because you guys have grown since then. So for people that may not know and why you guys keep doing that, I think it's a beautiful thing. So.
Yeah, the Corfu thing was really crazy too, right? So, like, to briefly touch on that, when I transitioned from, so I've been in many groups, right? My original group was called KPA, you know what I'm saying? Which led to the record label that I had started, which was Act Right Records. But everybody grew up, had kids, this, that, and the third. I still love my brothers, KPA for life, you know what I'm saying? Act Right, the label. But then I transitioned, I was signed to another label called ICE, Inner City Entertainment. And I did that for a couple of years. I put out a couple projects, but it didn't really go the way I wanted it to go. And there was a lot of things going on with that situation. So then I transitioned over to the dubstep group I was telling you a part about. That was the 88 Lions, which had a subgroup, the Good 88. And then everybody went their separate way with that. And then that's when the Ghost Gang thing happened. Originally Hungry Ghost, but transitioned into Ghost Gang. The
Mm-hmm.
Hungry Ghost was more the abstract hip hop part, but the Ghost Gang was like the more aggressive rap part. And then because we were doing so good with Ghost Gang,
Yeah.
we were invited to be part of the Corfu Collective.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, Corfu was tattoo artists, graffiti artists, skateboarders, DJs, producers, MCs, singers, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And when we started doing that, we were doing like 4 shows a night. All I
Mm-hmm.
would do a show, we all show up, and we would have our own slang that we would say. And then we were doing photo shoots and leaving Easter eggs in each other's videos. And it was really a beautiful experience to be have family in Jersey, have family in Delaware, have family in Philly, and be able to just get together and experience just like unjudgmented love. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, previous to losing Rich, we
Yeah.
suddenly lost one of our photographers and a singer, Rich's best friend. He was also a comedian. His name was Royalty Comedy. He
Mm-hmm.
had a month, maybe 2 months before Rich died. And
Mm-hmm.
we did a fundraiser to be able to bring him home properly and bring his son home so he
Mm-hmm.
could have a funeral. And we, did a barbecue in his honor. And it was really beautiful brotherhood. And unfortunately, soon after that, we lost Rich. And
Mm-hmm.
it kind of left us in such a weird place because it's like, yo, we could really all go at any time.
Yeah.
And, throughout that time, people on the Ghost Gang side and people
Mm-hmm.
on the Corfu side died. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
memories that we shared together are like forever, cemented in the path I walk.
Yeah.
And it's like Rich went everywhere and told everyone to check out my music and all the people in Ghost Gang's music. And when he was on tour in the UK 2 times, he, invited me both times, and
Mm-hmm.
he always, put on, and he was really thorough bull.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying so much of the connections that we have, it's like him being like, "Oh, I can't do this without my boys." Like he
Mm-hmm.
invited me on stages that I would have never been on. At that time, I was more focused on performing than I was on putting out music. So every year, I would put a song out, and
Mm-hmm.
then the rest would be performance tracks. And I had this thing where I never wanted to perform the same song twice. So if you saw me, every set was something different. And it's like so many of those songs are not recorded or out, but it's just like you would never see me in the same year with the same songs in my set. And people will request songs, and I was like, nah, I did that in April. They're like, nah, I did that in November. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that when you hear a song, you'll want to hear it or you want to sing along with it. And Rich also taught me the importance of like putting out music for my fans, not just for myself. Like I was being real selfish. I was like, yeah, I wrote this great piece and I'm gonna perform this. And if you wasn't there, too bad. And then Rich was like, bro, they want to hear your song. They want to play the songs. You got to put the songs out. And he convinced me to actually put out my first music video ever, which is the Fudo. And it is very much missed in everything that I do. And unfortunately, I've lost like a lot of friends since then.
Mm-hmm.
I lost two other members of Ghost Gang have passed. Davey don't exist, uh, and that led to us learning about like the struggles of like drug abuse and how bad and how hard that can be. And we also lost Nasty Nas, Necro Nas. He died in a hit and run, and that
Mm-hmm.
put us in a field where we, went out there and talked about bike safety
Mm-hmm.
and car safety. And then we also, lost Danager from Corfu, and we lost Tio from Corfu, and that put us in different situations where we had to reflect on like, you know, being in touch with each other and really communicating and like letting go of judgment and just accepting people when they come back into the fold. Too many times we hold grudges to our chest
Mm-hmm.
and let moments that could be great slip away because of small things, or people think that you're mad at them,
Mm-hmm.
and you see them in public, they don't want to embrace you, or they have a chance to come out and they're like, I should stay in the house. And sometimes it's okay to let things go because you never know. Freak accidents happen.
Mm-hmm.
Life is timed differently. We all have clocks we can't see. So it's just like Corfu is such a pivotal part of my mythos. Ghost Gang is such a crazy part of my power scaling. And
Mm.
everything I'm doing now is a reflection of the lessons I learned when I was in the formation of both of those groups.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that like everybody can handle it a different way, but you guys try to handle it in a positive way, and that like life's too short, just make the best out of it. So I do appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, we be fighting. Don't get yeah. It's not like we don't be fighting.
No,
We be
I know.
arguing.
No, I mean it's
Yeah,
family. You're gonna fight sometimes.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yo, it's really family fight. We really be having family fights. We trying to put a set together because
Mm,
everybody's doing their own thing. Because like Ghost Gang is 30 members, right?
mm.
Corfu is 40 members,
Oh my god.
and there's only 6 members of Ghost Gang in Corfu. You know what I'm saying? Seven
Mm.
technically, and you know what I'm saying. So then it's like when I be doing things, I'll be like, "Yo, who wants to come out to this?" Like, so that one song we did that one time, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so we're like, "No, you gonna do that song? We should do this song." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, sure." You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I get that.
This is the craziest.
Yeah, I get it. And one of the questions I'm gonna ask for one of the last questions is my guy Gray Free Sun. How did you guys meet up with each other? You were also part of their like star alignment event that they had, and you
Oh,
guys
Grayson?
both
Oh yeah. Oh
together.
man. Me and Grayson's story is kind of crazy, right? So, Blurred Con 1, right?
Yeah.
I was supposed to perform at Blurred Con 1, and so many things happened because everybody wanted to be a part of the first Blurred Con. So we got invited down there. Big up to Jason Richardson. You know what I'm saying? J1 definitely had us in the building with the black tribbles and all that. And there was so many people booked and so many things that happened. There was so many things going on that it was just like I don't the first Blurred Con was like Wakanda, like actually Wakanda, right? So like how like everybody be like, oh, Wakanda forever. Before Wakanda forever was a thing, like Blur, the first BlurCon was every black creative that was popping, every black person that ever wanted to try anime, it was just the overflow was crazy. Like the first BlurCon felt like a fever dream, right?
Mm.
So at the first BlurCon, everybody's rapping, everybody's doing their thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's where I met Grayson the first time. You know what I'm saying? He was there. He wasn't Grayson though. He was Maverick the Ronin.
Mm, yeah, I remember
Maverick the
that.
Ronin then. You know what I'm saying? And we linked up and everything was so crazy we didn't really get to like build, but that's where I first met him, right?
Mm.
So then, you know what I'm saying? Fast forward, right? A couple years later, I get put on a bill for I think it was the hip hop barbecue. I was
Mm.
on a bill for the Elements barbecue in Philadelphia, right? And they
Mm.
put me on stage with a bunch of people. And I'm looking at the one boy, I'm like, man, I know you, don't I? He was like, I don't think we know each other, bro. I'm like, nah, I do know you. What's your rap name? And he says his rap name to me. He's like, I'm Nightwing. I'm
Mhm.
like, nah, that's not it. I don't know you as Nightwing. I don't know who Nightwing is. He's like, bro, I'm Nightwing. I'm like, all right, I guess. So he starts rapping the song. I'm like, Maverick the Ronin. So then he gets off stage. I'm like, bro, Maverick the Ronin? He said, how you know that name? I said, bro, I was at BlurCon with you. He was like, you was? And I was like, yeah, bro, we was mixing at the joint. Da, 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 da. He's like, oh, what's up? So he seen me rock. He was like, yo, bro, now I remember you too. Da, 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 da. So we linked up or whatever. And then fast forward or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He transitions into Grayson. So while he's doing the Grayson thing, he's like, yo, I got to build. He's like, I got this idea for artist platform, the Star City Showcase. And Star City, if you know your DC lore, you know what I'm saying? Grayson is Nightwing. Nightwing is from Star City, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The whole
yeah.
situation. Because his albums, he got the Bloodhaven albums, he got the Gotham Jones or whatever.
Mhm.
So then, we started mixing with each other real heavy. And a lot of the same dudes we know, you know what I'm saying? Mega Ran, and then we both know Sam is, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We both know Richie Branson, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. And then Grayson showed mad love. He put us on 2 of his ciphers. He put us on a Gundam Wing cipher. And He put us on a Saint Cia cipher, and we started doing mad shows together. Uh, Shows in Philly. We brought him to Philly. We did the Rage on with him. He brought us out there to Bethlehem. We did like mad Star City showcases. I even actually got engaged at one of his joints.
Mm. Wow.
York, saying we was out Brooklyn. So it's like me and Grayson heavy. I love Grayson. Grayson got mad music out. He really be out here with the bars going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? More things in the future. I don't want to give away too much
No,
because
yeah, of course.
Ray gonna hurt me. But I wouldn't say that there won't be more Trey Nigga Grayson encounters sooner than later.
Okay. We'll keep it at that before you go. Before you go.
Yeah, yeah. Ray gonna call me like, I seen the interview. Did you? I said nice things about you.
You're like, don't kill me, fam. Like, God dang it.
Yo, he be so mad, bro. I be leaking stuff. He like, I can't believe you said that. Man, one time I went on a radio interview and I played
Yeah.
like songs I wasn't supposed to play.
Mm.
And he literally was texting me like, it's not finished. That's the first mix. And he was like, that beat isn't mastered. He was like, the verses aren't on there. And it was like, all right, I won't leak no more songs, Ray. I leaked mad information.
But you definitely can say this in like NDA or whatever you can share. But I always usually ask, what are some of the goals that you have? It could be whatever range. It could be short term, long term. I know you're very ambitious. It's whatever you can share, whatever you want to share.
All right, so as far as like, so I'll go different goals, right? Biggest goal is to perform in Japan,
Mm,
whether it be on tour or at a convention. Biggest
mm,
goal to perform in Japan. Now on the road to Japan,
mm-hmm.
I'm saying we already been connected with Skinny Bones in the Netherlands. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So the
Mm-hmm.
Netherlands is on the list. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? We got some fam over in UK. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shao Doe. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Nasty. You know what I'm saying? Plus Rich Quick putting the seeds over there in England for us. We got some fam over in France. You know what I'm saying? RIP DJ Ronsa and the Ronsa mix. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They love us over in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Outside of that, I wouldn't be opposed to going to Canada. You know what I'm saying? All my hardcore Juggalo fans, shout out to the Juggalos, whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? Going to Canada. And my OG Teeth, you know what I'm saying? He was talking about going to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
straight think about to get a passport. I gotta go to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I'm dragging Ray along, whether it be in a suitcase or I got Mr. T, this guy. That's the big performance goals. There's a lot of cons also we haven't done. It would be amazing to perform at New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
DreamCon is on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's just big cons. If there's any cons you think we should do, please DM me so we can start working on that. I want to perform in all 50 states. I want to perform in
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii. I want to perform in Alaska. I want to perform everywhere. You know what I'm saying? No fear in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Those are like outside of that. I have a lot of merch ideas, really cool stuff. Uh, those are smaller ideas, but I have so much music. I'm sitting on. So right now I have 100 songs recorded that need to come out.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
sitting on over 200 written songs.
Woo.
So I'm really trying to put music out. I've been just sitting on music, more music videos. I want to do a music video for every song on Free to EP.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of songs we have. I want to do music videos. I want to have all the homies in the music videos, so everybody get to be in there and just be chilling in their cosplays or whatever. Um, Maybe a restaurant at some point, where you can like,
Yeah.
come in and then we do like anime release watchings, like, oh, first episode of Demon Slayer is the night. Everybody got Demon Slayer cosplay, get in for $5. And then we all sit around ramen and watch and like, oh, I can't believe this happened. And then maybe after that we'll do like, you know, karaoke for the songs or something like that. It's like a lot of stuff I'd be thinking about. As far as like outside of that, like those are my like booking goals. Those are my like things like that. I want to be able to like, I I already told you I want to help the next generation, but like a lot of like give back stuff. I would like to do like more coat drives,
Mm-hmm.
um, more food drives, like donate to like at risk teens,
Mm-hmm.
drug recovery, um, trafficking things to stop those. The skin trade is terrible. Things to combat racism,
Mm-hmm.
uh, things like that. Maybe at some point venture into acting. You know what I'm saying? Do you like, some comedy movies or some stuff like that? I
Yeah.
always wanted to be like one of those dudes that be, pop up. Rappers always pop it up and stuff. Maybe do some voice acting, you know what I'm saying? Do a cameo in something. Uh, that's always cool. I thought it was really cool that Jaden Smith had that one show, Neo
Mm.
Yokio on
Mm.
Netflix.
Yo,
I
yeah,
wish
yeah.
he had taken more time with the animation. I thought the storyline had a
Mhm.
lot of potential.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe a video game at some point. Rappers always in video games. You know, maybe not like Fight for New York, but maybe like a side scroller, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that.
Mm. Mm.
Those that'd be pretty fire. Um, so many things. That's the cartoon. That's a voiceover cartoon.
Yeah.
Maybe like little 5-minute episodes, kind of like how they did Way of the House Husband. Maybe
Mm.
we could do like 5-minute skits where like I get Ray involved in something he doesn't want to be involved. Like Arthur has evidence of something and he has to get rid of it. Or like Black Kaneki accidentally like fights somebody and they end up being like, guilty or something. Like really expand. I also would like to like have everybody's mythos. I would like to be able to do like individual tour runs for like all the members of the league. Because
Mm.
as of right now, like previous to joining the league, Matthew Rahim has out 3 or 4 projects,
Okay.
so he has material to tour.
Mm.
Steve, he's been in 3 bands, like
Ooh.
he's done world tours. You know what I'm saying? He was in a band Fruit Punch, and he had 2 other bands he was in. And then he's done like production. He has like maybe 15, 20 albums out. So
Mm.
like he could tour by himself,
Mm.
like with the books, he's writing a whole book universe and he's trying to like sell that to like Netflix or something. I'd like to die in one of his TV shows. Um, Outside of that, you know what I'm saying? I know LKG Photography is big on streaming. Maybe get him like some streaming sponsorships. I know that Fire has out a couple of songs before. He's big on doing covers. So I would like to see him like, go on a cover tour, maybe something like that. Maybe I'll pop up at a couple spots. Uh, I know Dot Shin wants to really DJ like big places, so maybe Rolling Loud or
Mm.
concert, something like that. So many different things that I would like to see the team win on a bigger scale. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Also, like my discography, I've been buying back my discography. I was
Mm.
signed to a lot of labels,
Yeah.
and I didn't have ownership of a lot of my music, so I've been buying back songs
Mm.
I can. So I would like to re-release or release unreleased songs
Mm.
and put them out so I can have a clear legacy and like maybe
Mm.
one day do like a stream or a set of streams where I play different years of my music career.
Mm. Oh wow.
Yeah. And my dad wrote a book called The Untold Story, and I
Mm.
might re-release it
Yeah.
with like parts of me speaking on things when he was writing the book, or
Mm.
even write a book being from my perspective as his son.
Mm. Oh wow, that's amazing. Anything that comes out first of what you said, I'm excited because like that's like you have a lot of plans.
I'm very ambitious right now,
No, I mean it's definitely a good thing, and I mean honestly, it was a pleasure talking to you, getting to know everything. Hopefully, you had a good time.
Hey, this was great. Like I said, it's a great way to start off the week. Is a good way to bring positive energy into a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? This is the week that new episodes of JJK came out.
Yeah,
And
and Hell's
you,
Paradise came out.
Matt, yes, my boy. And then we also had what else came out this week? Digital.
The sentence to be a hero.
Oh my God. I watched that. It was so good. Why was it so good? Why was it so good? I'm watching this joint. I'm like, this joint gonna be mid. And I'm like, okay. I was like, wait, what? Uh, nah. It was so good. It's so good. I wanted to watch it like 4 more times because I was like, yo, what? And I was so mad there wasn't a second episode. I was like, oh, they gave us like a 45-minute John because they wasn't going to give us a second episode. Then I watched My Hero Vigilantes too. That just dropped.
Yeah.
I really like the vigilante characters and the storyline.
Hmm.
I've been watching like a lot of stuff too. Like I was dragging my feet on watching Free Ren, so I
Mm.
finally finished Free Ren. I'm ready for season two, which is about to pop out in like what is it like a week? Free Ren
Yeah.
is about to come out, so I'm hyped for that. And then there's something else that's coming out too. I don't know. I'm trying to really be on my anime joint because you know I got to go to BlurCon and I'm defending my title at BlurCon. Right now, I'm the two-time BlurCon freestyle or anime rap battle champion. So this is my
Mm.
third year. So I got to go in there and I got to have the anime bars. You know what I'm saying? So like I've been finishing anime that I may have not been so keen on. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
everybody always has the same punchlines. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So like, I battled this one dude, man. I was doing some like practice battles like earlier in this month. And I
Hmm.
battled the one dude and he said some old weird stuff. So I was like, all right, you want to get weird? I'm gonna get weirder. So I put the weirdest bars I could together. And bro was like, what? And then the judge was like, dag. And then I did the second battle. I battled my man's, and it was kind of crazy. He was coming at me all crazy with like the Yo Yo Hakusho bars, and you know what I'm saying, the Yu Gi Oh bars, and all
Yeah.
these different ones. So I had to pew 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 deflect them Jones. I was like, ah, yeah, Fortnite bars,
Yeah.
Marvel Rival bars, I was hitting back, and I battled the third boy. He was just so uninterested, and I was just like. I was falling asleep. I ain't gonna hold you. I might be narcoleptic. I was like, this is terrible. And I was just like, yo, he needs this more than me. But I'm not allowed to do that no more. My friends told me. They're like, no, you're not allowed to do that. I was like, you're right. I should be mean.
I
I was
understand.
like, I feel like Goku. You know how Goku was like, he could have, he threw the fight and he was like, oh, Cell, you got it. Fight my son. Oh, also have a sensu bean. By the way, like, yo, you can't be doing that, Trey. I was like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm
But
saying?
but I definitely wanted to give you a chance to like just let people plug in where they want you to follow you, follow the music, follow everything you're gonna be doing.
Like I said, it's your boy Trey Tray Digga Digga. You know what I'm saying? You can type that in on all social media platforms. I'm on everything. I'm Trey Digga on Fortnite. I'm Trey Digga on Twitch. I'm Trey Digga on YouTube. I'm Trey Digga on TikTok. I'm Trey Digga on Instagram. I'm Trey Digga on Facebook. I be trying to post on everything. It's so many things, but I try to be Trey Digga on everything. You know what I'm saying? So you already know that I have like a lot of drops. I go out all the time and I post on Instagram. So if you want to see me in real time, the Trade Digger Tracker, the TDT, you know what I'm saying? I be doing open mics in Philly, Jersey, Delaware, just to keep the bars up. I am confirmed for BlurredCon. If you're going to BlurredCon, come meet me at BlurredCon. I'm gonna be wilding out at BlurredCon. Outside of BlurredCon, you know what I'm saying? Find me. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because they,
No.
they didn't drop the flyer yet.
Oh, okay.
But
No.
no, because I need people to be in the area. If South by Southwest is
Mm,
happening in Texas, and I
mm,
happen to be in the area, if there's a nerdy event that predates South by Southwest, I may or may not be on that bill that week.
okay. All right.
Quote
No,
unquote.
no.
Another thing I'm not allowed to announce that I'm going to announce if you're in Philadelphia
Mhm.
the week after and you like blossoms that may or may not come from trees, and there were to be a festival about those things, I may or may not be in attendance in some way or form.
Mhm.
And that's all I can say up to
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Oh,
But yeah.
BlurCon, yes. Texas, yes. And then back to Philly, yes.
Okay.
But okay, So that's like booking, but you can find my music on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, YouTube, all streaming platforms. I have the 5 EPs out. I have the album out, the Heroes League album. We have the Heroes for Hire albums. We have the Holiday Hoodlums album, and I have random features. If you find the Trade Digger playlist
Mm,
on Spotify, it has over 6 hours of Trade Digger music that includes
mm,
Ghost Gang music, Corfu music, Heroes League music, Heroes for Hire music, Trade Digger features, Trade Digger solo tracks. Outside of that, I have music videos on YouTube. There's rap battles on YouTube. There's a documentary me about me on YouTube. There's various interviews about me on YouTube. Uh, there's also like up to date videos and flyers and photos and stuff on Instagram. If you want to go retro, you can go to my Trade Digger fan page on Facebook and you can see like some of the evolution. But I plan on posting more in 2026 and I'm trying to uniform all the profiles. Give me time. Technology breaks easily around me.
well, that's fair. So definitely, guys, check them out. All the socials. Thanks for being here on the show. Had a great time. And for those that may not know what I do, long story short, hi, my name's Lizzie. My brand is AnimeInkArt. We're not next to the wall, but I do art. That's how the brand started. I traditionally draw and then I digitally edit it to create the things I would create. Trying to get back into that. We have our store on Shopify.
Yes, please do.
And I
Get
show.
one of the, yo, get one of them Johns on a jacket, and I'll wear that John at shows. Let's do it.
All right, I got you. I got you. But yeah,
I'm with it.
we just so for those that want to know like what we have already dropped, like definitely check the Shopify store, definitely check the Redbubble store. If you want to have commissions, we do commissions as well. We're trying to vend more in the tri-state like we've been doing, but we're also trying to expand to other states. Hopefully this year we've been signing up for more conventions. For those that may know me from the show, I appreciate you guys. But this was an extension of like when I used to just support blur creators in general. That's part of the mission statement for me doing what I'm doing. I used to just have people on my page, put them on my stories, but this is more intimate, this is more interactive. It started on Instagram and now it's here. If you guys want to be part of Anime Ink Our Live Talks, definitely the link to our forum where we do it is there. We do open calls sometimes, but you know things have been progressing to where like it's a combination of the two. Also, we do cosplay. Also, we do the art. We do cosplay. We do the podcasting. So we've been doing multiple things. If you want to know all the multiple things we're doing, definitely join Anime Inkar One on Instagram, Anime Inkar Live One, which has the YouTube channel and some of the clips. The Anime Inkar One channel has everything that we do because everything happens at a different time, at a different pace, at a different setting. Shout out to Otaku Noir. I gotta remember to say this. So you know, we also affiliates with Otaku Noir. They make amazing black nerd mystery boxes. So if you use code Anime Inkar, you will get free shipping. We were their cosplay model for 2025 in February, so I'm always grateful for that opportunity. Shout out to Blurs Unite. We got to do Block Party 9 with them last year. Hopefully we'll do more with them in the future. I can't say whenever we do more stuff, you guys will know once I have the information. But join the broadcast channel because that's where all of that happens next. So tomorrow we'll have our show with Supreme SVM. So that's definitely going to be a fun thing that we're going to be doing tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for the support always. And with that, we're going to be signing out. Yay.
Shout out to Naughty, you know what I'm saying? The Kinky
Yes.
Geek Clothes. Shout out to Black Star Fashion,
Yes.
Baby Making Me Fly. Shout out to Origins of Play, you know what I'm saying? With all the gamer tech. Shout out to the whole league, the gang, the food. Shout out to my kids, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the leader of my harem. Shout out to the whole harem, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody tuning in and salute. You know.
You know.